Have you ever felt your mind like a battlefield where relentless thoughts wage an endless war, as if a dense fog clouded your clarity, preventing you from enjoying life? If so, this video is for you. Chronic anxiety goes beyond worrying too much. It steals your peace, drains your energy, and compromises your ability to live fully. It traps you in a cycle of fear, stress, and exhaustion, turning each day into a constant challenge. Imagine waking up every morning already carrying the weight of the day before even getting out of bed. Your heart races for no apparent reason, your hands sweat, and your mind bombards you with negative and catastrophic thoughts. You know you're tired, but you can't seem to shut it off. And the worst part? It feels like it's never going to end. The scariest part is that many people learn to live with this anguish, accepting it as part of life. They think, that's just how I am, and that nothing can be done to change it. But what if I told you there's a way out? That you can break free from anxiety, reclaim your inner peace, and achieve a full and abundant life. Before we continue, I invite you to subscribe to the Vibrating Prosperity channel and share this message with anyone who needs a dose of inspiration and transformation. Together, let's spread the flame of hope and build the extraordinary life we all deserve. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal why your anxiety seems uncontrollable and, more importantly, how you can break this cycle once and for all. But first, we need to understand what's really happening inside your mind and why you haven't been able to escape this mental prison yet. Anxiety isn't just a fleeting emotional state. It's a powerful force that shapes your thoughts, emotions, and even your body. Once it takes hold, it plants deep roots in your subconscious, feeding on your fears, uncertainties, and unresolved traumas. Every time you try to ignore it or fight it directly, it seems to grow stronger, like an invisible monster thriving in the darkness. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact this has on your life? How many opportunities have been missed because fear spoke louder? How many moments of happiness have been overshadowed by excessive worry about the future or ruminating over the past? Anxiety doesn't just limit your ability to act. It also robs you of your connection to the present, preventing you from living life to its fullest. But here's the truth. You don't have to keep living like this. You don't need to accept this condition as permanent. There are clear and effective paths to reprogram your mind and find freedom. Yes, it's possible to disarm the mental triggers that fuel anxiety and replace them with empowering thoughts that bring calm. Our goal here is to guide you on this journey of transformation. We'll explore together how anxiety works, unraveling the hidden mechanisms that keep it active. By understanding these processes, you'll begin to see a light at the end of the tunnel, a real way out based on practical tools and proven strategies. What you're about to discover can transform your life. The question is, are you ready to face the truth? Now that you realize anxiety has been holding you captive, let's dive into what's happening inside your mind and uncover why you haven't been able to break free from this vicious cycle. Chapter 1: The Invisible Enemy: How Your Own Mind is Keeping You Trapped in Anxiety. If you're stuck in this cycle of anxiety, it's not your fault, but there's an invisible enemy inside your mind that's keeping you trapped. It's sneaky, silent, and worst of all, extremely efficient at its job. Think for a moment. How many times have you tried to calm yourself by saying, "I need to relax," but instead ended up feeling even more anxious? Or worse, you tried to ignore your fears, pretending they didn't exist, only for them to come back even stronger? This happens because anxiety isn't just a bad feeling. It's a response from your brain that was programmed to protect you, but now it's sabotaging you. Imagine your mind is like a car alarm. That alarm should only go off when there's real danger, right? But when you suffer from chronic anxiety, that alarm goes off all the time, even without an apparent reason. It triggers when you think about the future, when you get an unexpected message, or when something doesn't go as planned. And gradually, that constant noise becomes unbearable. This happens because your brain has a structure called the amygdala, which is responsible for detecting threats and activating your alert state. The problem is that when you suffer from chronic anxiety, your amygdala is hyperactive, seeing danger where none exists. It interprets neutral or even positive situations as threats, triggering physical reactions like an increased heart rate, cold sweats, and muscle tension. These reactions, in turn, reinforce the sense of danger, creating a vicious cycle that feels impossible to break. And do you know what makes this worse? The habits you don't even realize you have. Do you check your phone every 5 minutes? Your brain is hooked on dopamine and constantly expecting something new, which increases anxiety. Are you sleeping poorly? Lack of sleep amplifies your stress response, making everything harder to manage. Do you worry about things that haven't even happened yet? This strengthens the belief that danger is always lurking. On top of that, there's an even bigger trap. The more you try to avoid anxiety, the stronger it becomes. When you fight against your anxious thoughts, you're actually giving them even more power. It's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Now stop and think. How many years of your life have you already lost because of this cycle? How many opportunities have you let slip away? How many good moments couldn't you enjoy because you were trapped inside your own mind? Maybe you missed out on your dream job because the fear of failure outweighed the courage to try. Or maybe you avoided deep relationships because the fear of being judged or rejected blocked your connections. The truth is, you weren't born to live like this. No one was. Chronic anxiety is a learned condition, fueled by mental and behavioral patterns that can be reprogrammed. There's a way to train your brain to finally break this cycle. But to do that, you need to change how you respond to anxiety. In the next chapters, I'll show you how to trick your own brain and train your mind to escape this constant state of alert. We'll explore practical strategies that will help you disarm anxious triggers and replace them with calmer, more productive responses. But before that, you need to understand the biggest mistake that's preventing you from overcoming anxiety, one that most people make without even realizing it. Now that you understand how your mind is sabotaging you, I'm going to reveal the fatal mistake that keeps most people trapped in anxiety and how you can avoid it. Chapter 2. The fatal mistake, keeping you trapped in anxiety. If you've made it this far, you've already realized that your mind has been sabotaging you in ways you never imagined. But now comes the most important part, the fatal mistake that prevents most people from overcoming anxiety. This mistake might be ruining your life without you even realizing it. And it can be summed up in one sentence. If I avoid what makes me anxious, I'll feel better. Now pause for a moment and think. How many times have you avoided doing something because you felt anxious? Did you skip speaking in public because you thought you'd freeze? Avoided talking to someone out of fear of what they might think? Didn't leave the house because you felt a tightness in your chest just imagining being in a crowded place? At first glance, avoiding these situations might bring temporary relief, but that relief is fleeting. And what happens next? Your anxiety comes back even stronger. Let me explain why this happens. When you avoid something that scares you, your brain interprets that situation as genuinely dangerous. And the next time, it will generate an even more intense response to protect you. It's as if your brain says, I saw you run away from that. So it must be really threatening. I'll be even more alert next time. This automatic response is called negative reinforcement. By avoiding the situation, you're teaching your brain to associate it with danger, even when there's no real threat. It's a vicious cycle. The more you avoid, the more your anxiety grows. And the more your anxiety grows, the more you avoid. This pattern creates an invisible mental prison where every decision is driven by fear. Now I want you to think about how many opportunities you've lost because of this. That job interview you gave up on because you got too nervous. That trip you canceled because you didn't feel safe. That conversation that could have changed your life, but you avoided it out of fear of judgment. Maybe it was something simple, like not asking for help when you needed it, or not expressing your feelings in a relationship. Every time you choose to run away, you reinforce the belief that the world is a dangerous place and that you're not capable of handling challenges. This limiting mindset affects not only your emotional health, but also your achievements and relationships. The truth is, as long as you keep running from anxiety, it will continue to control you. But here's some good news. You don't have to live like this. There's a way to turn the tables. There's a method to trick your brain and train your mind to react differently. The first step is understanding that facing anxiety doesn't mean fighting against it. In fact, trying to combat it directly only makes it grow. Instead, you need to learn how to coexist with it strategically, using tools that will help you disarm your mental triggers. In the next chapters, you'll discover 3 scientifically proven techniques that will help you take control of your anxiety and, more importantly, build a full and abundant life. These techniques aren't just theories. They've already transformed the lives of thousands of people who, like you, were trapped in this cycle of fear and avoidance. And the best part? They're simple, accessible, and can be applied starting today. The first technique involves relearning how to interpret your anxious thoughts. Instead of seeing them as signs of imminent danger, you'll learn to treat them as background noise, something that exists but doesn't need to control your actions. The second technique focuses on changing how you physically respond to anxiety. Often, your body reacts before your mind, and learning to calm your physical responses can make all the difference. Finally, the third technique will help you create new mental habits that replace old avoidance patterns. Step by step, you'll rebuild your relationship with anxiety, transforming it from an enemy into an ally. Are you ready to take the first step toward freedom? Now that you understand the mistake keeping you trapped in anxiety, I'm going to teach you 3 powerful techniques that can change your life starting today. Get ready, because this could be a turning point. Chapter 3. The 3 scientifically proven techniques to control anxiety and transform your life. Now that you understand what's happening inside your mind and the fatal mistake keeping you trapped in anxiety, it's time to take action. And the first thing you need to know is, you don't have to live like this forever. Science has already discovered effective methods to reduce anxiety naturally and sustainably. Today, I'm going to show you 3 techniques that can completely change how your mind handles fear, stress, and worries. First technique, the power of controlled breathing. Trick your brain in 60 seconds. When we're anxious, our breathing becomes short and shallow. What most people don't realize is that this tricks your brain into believing you're in danger. Now, imagine being able to trick your brain back and make it calm down instantly. This is possible with a simple technique called 4-7-8 breathing. Here's how it works. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold your breath for 7 seconds, then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle 3 times. You'll notice your heart rate slows down, your mind clears, and your state of alertness begins to decrease. Sounds simple? Try it right now and see the difference. This technique not only calms your body, but also sends a clear signal to your brain that you're safe, interrupting the panic cycle before it gains strength. Second technique, the 5 senses technique. Break the cycle of negative thoughts in 30 seconds. One of the biggest challenges of anxiety is the feeling that your mind is out of control, bombarding you with negative thoughts. But there's a trick that brings your brain back to the present moment and instantly interrupts the worry cycle. It's called the 5 senses technique, and here's how it works. First, observe 5 things around you. It could be a color, an object, or even the UV light in the room. Next, touch 4 things: the texture of your clothes, the surface of the chair you're sitting on. Then, listen to 3 sounds: the noise in the environment, your own breathing, or even a distant conversation. After that, smell 2 scents. If none are obvious, breathe deeply and notice the air around you. Finally, taste 1 flavor. It could be a sip of water, the taste of saliva, or even a piece of chocolate if you have one handy. This technique forces your mind to focus on the present moment, eliminating the overload of future or past thoughts. It's especially powerful because it activates different areas of your brain, shifting focus away from worries and anchoring you in the now. Third technique, the anxiety journal. Unload your thoughts and free your mind. Many people are trapped in cycles of anxiety because they don't process their thoughts in a healthy way. What happens? Negative thoughts keep spinning in your head like a scratched record, fueling more fear and tension. But there's a simple way to break this cycle: writing. Here's how it works. Grab a piece of paper and write down exactly what's worrying you. Ask yourself, is this a real problem, or is it just a fear in my mind? Write down a possible solution or rational thought about it. This process helps your brain understand that fear doesn't have to dominate you. When you transfer your thoughts to paper, you lighten the load on your mind and gain clarity. Plus, by questioning the validity of these thoughts, you begin reprogramming your mind to view situations more balancedly. Put it into practice. Today, now I ask you, which of these techniques will you try first? Choose one and practice it. Today, remember, the path to controlling anxiety starts with small, consistent actions. But wait, because we're not done yet. In the next chapter, I'll show you how to turn these techniques into a new lifestyle and build a routine that will protect you from anxiety forever. Chapter 4: How to build an anxiety-proof routine and never be a prisoner of fear again. Now that you've learned techniques to control anxiety the moment it arises, the question is, how do you prevent it from coming back full force? The answer lies in your routine. Think about it. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't plant the right seeds and tend to the soil, weeds will take over. Anxiety thrives in a chaotic, disorganized environment filled with negative habits. That's why, if you want a truly full and abundant life, you need to create a daily routine that strengthens your mind. And now, I'll show you the 3 essential pillars to achieve that. Pillar 1: Start your day with control, instead of reacting to the world. The biggest mistake people make is starting their day by reacting. They wake up and before even getting out of bed, grab their phone and start consuming stressful information, messages, and news. This immediately activates the brain's alert mode and puts you on autopilot anxiety. Now imagine doing something different, waking up and starting your day in control of your mind. Try this. Before picking up your phone, take a deep breath and tell yourself that this is a new day. Drink a glass of water to hydrate your body and activate your brain. Spend at least 5 minutes breathing, meditating, or writing in your anxiety journal. If you do this every day, you'll notice a huge difference in your mental calmness in no time. This small ritual creates a solid foundation to face the day with clarity and intention, instead of being dominated by external demands. Pillar 2: Take care of your body to heal your mind. Did you know your body directly influences your anxiety? For example, a lack of magnesium in the body is directly linked to increased anxiety and stress. The same goes for poor sleep quality and lack of sunlight exposure. That's why, if you want to shield your mind against anxiety, you need to take care of your body. Here are some simple yet powerful practices. Eat well, including magnesium-rich foods like bananas, avocados, and nuts. Exercise regularly, even if it's just a 10-minute walk. Movement releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones. Sleep well, aiming for 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Proper rest restores your nervous system and reduces sensitivity to stress. Get sunlight every day. Natural light regulates your mood and helps produce serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for happiness. Over time, you'll notice your body working for your mind, not against it. This synergy between body and mind is key to keeping anxiety under control. Pillar 3: Set goals and have a clear purpose. Now comes a crucial point. What's the purpose of your life? Many people suffer from anxiety because they lack a clear purpose. They live on autopilot, going from day to day without knowing where they're headed. This creates an internal void and a constant feeling that something is missing. But when you have a purpose, your mind aligns with something greater, and anxiety loses its grip. So I ask you, what's your purpose? What do you want to build in your life? If you don't know yet, start small. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What activities bring me genuine satisfaction? What can I do today to move closer to a better life? When you define a purpose, your mind stops focusing on fear and starts focusing on building your best self. This not only gives meaning to your daily life, but also creates an internal compass that guides your decisions and reduces uncertainty. One of the main triggers of anxiety. Now that you know how to structure a routine to armor your mind against anxiety, there's only one last step. How do you ensure this transformation is permanent? In the next chapter, we'll talk about the mindset shift that will make you never again a prisoner of anxiety, and finally allow you to live a full and abundant life starting now. Chapter 5. The final step to overcoming anxiety and achieving a full and abundant life. If you've made it this far, it means you no longer want to live as a prisoner of anxiety. You want change, you want freedom, you want a full and abundant life. And I'm going to let you in on a secret. Anxiety has no power over you. The one who gives it power is you. If you stop to think about it, every day you have a choice. You can either keep reacting to life, letting anxiety control you, or you can take control and decide to build a new reality. The problem is that most people wait until they feel ready to change. But the truth is, no one ever feels ready. If you wait for the day when you no longer feel anxious, that day will never come. Do you know when it arrives? When you decide to act, even with fear. What's missing? Action. Now I want you to make a decision. Are you going to leave this video and keep living the same way, hoping that one day magically your anxiety will disappear? Or are you going to take the first step today to transform your life? Take one of the techniques I taught you and put it into practice right now. Do the breathing exercise. Write in your anxiety journal. Start your day without grabbing your phone immediately. Whatever it is, just do it. Because at the end of the day, it's the small daily actions that create an extraordinary life. And do you know what's most powerful? When you share this transformation with others. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who also needs to hear this powerful message. Don't keep this transformation to yourself. Now tell me in the comments, what was the biggest lesson you took away from this video? Thank you so much for watching until the end. We've left a special gift for you in the comments or description. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and turn on notifications to keep receiving content that will help you transform your life. And remember, the life you desire is already waiting for you. It begins the moment you decide that anxiety will no longer steal your dreams, your achievements, and your happiness. You weren't born to live trapped in fear. You were born to shine, to create, to live each moment intensely. So go out there and build the life you deserve, because the power has always been in your hands and will always be here to support you. Peace and light to all.